More like everybody. Thank you for tapping into another episode of Unbiased Opinions. We are your hosts, the spiritual wanderer Suave.
And the one and only Lenon.
And yeah, as you can see, our numbers are decreasing. no,
we took a couple rain checks.
We fired some people. We missing two of the other hosts. They got busy with other things, so they're not going to be here today. So it's just going to be us two. So yeah, we in here.
I think we could come up with some interesting shit. So
yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Well, because just to kick it off, I saw Black Adam this past weekend.
We love those,
right? I know you don't care for it. You like, man, I don't care about them superhero movies anyway. But freaking, when I watched it, I never had a feeling of, dang, this movie is really good and really bad at the exact same time.
At what point in the movie, like the intro or what?
To be honest, it was like right after the first act. Like when I was first watching it, I was like, oh, this movie's good. And then right after like you first see Black Adam on screen, I was like, oh, this movie's starting to get bad now. It's starting to get crazy.
For context, what's a bad superhero movie to you?
Well, see, and this is one of the questions that I was gonna pose to us, but I'll say after I say this. The story to me was very messy and had like a lot of ridiculous holes where you'd be like, what is going on? That don't make no sense whatsoever. And then like, I hate to say it, but The Rock is not really a good actor. So
why do you hate to say that?
Well, because I know a lot of people love The Rock, and in general, I feel like he's like very one note, and some people love that. But you can really see that in this movie if you like pay attention. You're like, okay, he only got like one line every so often, and the rest of the movie he's just like making faces, and I was just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
He had like one monologue, and it was just like, typical superhero stuff.
I mean, that's always how he's been to me, though.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't know. I think early on when I was a kid and I watched WWE and stuff, I was more of a fan. And I'm not hating her. Like, obviously, he's found his niche and all that, but
oh yeah,
I've never like thought like, okay, The Rock is in this, so
it's gonna be a good movie.
It's gonna be a banger. Yeah.
Yeah. See, and I'm not that much of a fan of The Rock, but I try to give him the benefit of the doubt. Like, okay, he's just playing one character in every single movie he's in.
Yeah.
But in this one, like, it started off, like I said, I thought it was gonna be good, and the visuals are good, and the action's good. But then if you like just think a little bit on the story, you're just gonna be like, what's going on? Or you pay attention to some of the acting, it's like, man, it's not good. It's not that good.
Yeah.
But it made me think of a thing, like, because there's this post that this girl posted on Twitter, and she was like, I enjoy my superhero movies because I'm not over analyzing movies like other people. And I'm thinking, like, is it the fact that we as people overanalyze things why we can't enjoy it as much?
I think we've had this conversation a couple times on the podcast already, but just with like social media now and stuff.
Yeah.
Like even like me and Snoop were talking about it last week, but like even like the NBA and like sports and stuff, everyone thinks they're like an analyst now or like a movie critic on Twitter and social media, and so it's kind of hard to like not hear bad reviews and things of that sort, you know. I don't know, it just feels like everyone's so critical nowadays, and so it's kind of hard to like, there were some bad movies growing up that you watch nowadays and you're like, wow, this was actually like really bad.
yeah
But I think since it wasn't in the era of like hyper critical people, that it's more like nostalgic for us, and people would like appreciate it. But
because what I think it might have to do a lot with things like movies over time have kind of evolved and gotten better and fixed some of like the flaws. Like they know how to tell better stories in movies and stuff nowadays. So when you have holes like that, it's like, oh, we're accustomed to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We've seen better. So it's like now we expect better, you know? And I feel like I don't think it's in a sense of like we're being over analytic, but I think it's just like people have raised the bar over time in movies. So it's like now we're like, we expect better.
Yeah.
So in a way, we're a little spoiled with.
But I think that's everything, though.
Yeah.
Even like I said, like the NBA, like it's a constant argument of like, yo, who would MJ be in today's game?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, okay, well, you know, like nowadays they shoot a lot more 3-pointers, and you know, kids are coming out of college, and like if you can't stay in the league unless you got a 3-point shot, like even if you're
Right.
7'2", you know, whereas they used to just throw you on the block and play defense and grab rebounds.
Right.
And so I think everything is just like, and I think within that, like within the evolution of everything, on top of everyone having access to information and access to like sharing their opinions and shit,
Yeah.
that it's created like a cycle of everyone constantly wanting more.
Yeah. I thought you was gonna say like everybody constantly wanting to share their opinion more.
Well, yeah, and I think that's within it. Like they're sharing their opinion that they think this can be better, and this is why they think it can. And then they talk to somebody who says, "No, I disagree," and then they go back and forth, and then they may agree on, "Oh, okay, well, yeah, then this is progressive," and then it just constantly is moving in the sense of like people just constantly wanting more.
Yeah. I mean, you saying sports and stuff like that. I was thinking of even with singing, because I mean, back in the day, a lot of people would just be able to put on like a Whitney Houston song on singing shows and singing. People's like, oh my God, you know, like they're doing Whitney. But nowadays, if like singers try to do a Whitney song, people are like, okay, we've heard this before. Like, do something different. Let's see something unique. Like everybody does Whitney because like she's really good, but all right, let's see something different.
Yeah,
step outside the box.
Which is kind of weird though too, because I feel like music's one of those things that like constantly reverts back. I think movies is there too. Like everything, every movie is either like a book or like a comic, or like all the superhero movies are from comics. Even the best TV shows, Walking Dead and all these things are from comics. There's really like everything's like adaptations nowadays. Even singing, like that you hear Rihanna's song, it's Carlos Santana, you know, Maria, but they remix it, and you know, there's like that's weird with music and movies. I don't know what it is. It's just like straight like just revisionist shit. Yeah, like remixing shit. I don't know, and so but within progressions also. It's, you know, they do revert back to all the shit.
Yeah. It's just crazy to think, though, how that we're just constantly evolving, constantly changing. So we need to do better. But I just think the movie was entertaining. It just was bad, too.
Do you read books of movies that you watch, or like are you a comic fan like of these superheroes?
Yeah. I watched some comics.
Like, did you already know the Black Adam story?
I knew some of it.
Well, I was wondering if like that goes into you being like, nah, like this is not how it was.
No, it was. I mean, some stuff, because some stuff just didn't make sense. But it all had to do with just being a movie person and watching the story. Like it just doesn't make sense for like. I'll give you a small example. It's not really a spoiler for anything, but like. In the movie, he was speaking a different language when it first showed him before he becomes the hero or whatever. And then when he's like released and they release him, this dude's speaking perfect English, and I'm like, but how? You know what I mean? Like, how if before that you weren't speaking any English at all? Like, when did you learn?
All of a sudden, you know English, and it's kind of like they just got lazy. Like, man, I don't think we got it in the budget to like. Explain him learning English and shit. So, but we need him to be speaking English
because it's like, okay, The Rock's probably not gonna be good at executing this language through the whole movie, so we gotta change it up. But I was like, it would have been, and then he had no accent. Like all these other people had accents, and he didn't have no accent. So it was like, why do you? How does this work? You're the only one.
I think that's kind of my issue with superhero movies. Like they cast more for looks as opposed to acting ability.
Yeah, and I mean, but some people actually have the acting chops along with the looks, but it's rare.
Yeah,
I see what you mean though.
Yeah,
because like with The Rock, I was just kind of like, okay, it's just because he's like a big dude who kind of looks like a superhero, got the superhero build, so it works. But
yeah,
it just wasn't working in context because he's not a good actor.
Yeah. And I think even if me and you were right in it, and we came up with like, all right, who's the perfect person for this?
Yeah.
Prior to even knowing who he can act and shit, you're like, all right, The Rock.
Yeah.
You know, big brolic dude.
But see, I think if I was honestly like a casting person or somebody like who was like doing a story, like if I thought they looked the part and they came and their acting was bad, I'd be like, this ain't gonna work. You know what I mean? Like this ain't gonna work now.
Yeah, but I feel like just with like big budget movies, they feel like they could cover it up with like
the visual effects and the action
graphics and everything. You know,
like look at this is so cool, but it's, to me, it stands out. And I guess it's because I'm a movie person, so I like pay attention to stuff like that. Like how we were talking about Nope, how we like really enjoy like the depth and stuff like that and the story. So it's like that stuff matters to me. So when I'm watching a movie and the story's like all over the place and doesn't make sense, I'm like, this junk is trash.
Yeah.
Like get this off my screen. Like what?
Well, I guess I am relieved then. I'm open to your opinions when you have a movie recommendation now, because I thought you were just like superhero movie or die in the sense of like,
oh no, not at all. Like I love, to be honest, I'm more into movies that have depth to it and story to it. Like a lot of the movies that I really like have good stories, like The Arrival, Interstellar, like stuff like that. Like they're sci-fi, but the stories underlying is really good, where you're just like, dang, I can see the message of like what this movie actually means, the depth to it. And then the acting, like I like stuff like that. I don't really pay attention. I guess comic book movies is more so like a fun thing for me, but still some of them have good storylines where I'm like, okay, this is good.
Yeah. Couple of the Batmans, couple of the Spider-Mans.
Yeah, you see some movies where you're like, oh, this was actually a really good story, as well as just like a cool little popcorn movie that you can just turn on and, oh yeah, they're fighting, that's tight.
Yeah, exactly.
But Black Adam was one where I was like, this is good, but geez, like, man, like there's a little kid in there and I was like, I know kids have a hard time acting, some kids, but this kid, I was like, man, I would have said cut like 5 times on this. Cut, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Maybe they did, and that's as good as it got, bro. They like,
this is the best we gonna get,
and
that's it. But man, I don't know. Yeah, it was whatever. But I guess people say they love it, and I understand why people love it, because it, like, you can sit down and watch something like that and just eat some popcorn, chill, not turn your brain off, and it works. But other than that, I don't know. If you want more depth, you're gonna be disappointed. But speaking about entertainment and movies and stuff in entertainment, for Halloween, parents are dressing their kids up as Jeffrey Dahmer.
Oh, I was seeing that.
Yeah. And a lot of people have a problem with it, and some people don't. So there's like this big old debate happening in the Twitter world, because, you know, that's where the debates happen.
Yeah.
But where people are like, people shouldn't have a problem with this. Like, people are dressing their kids up as Chucky and Jason and Leatherface, and nobody else, you know, complains. So why are you complaining about this? And then other people were like, you don't see what's wrong with this. This is like problematic. And where would you fall on that line?
So I'm thinking, like, as far as, I don't know, this isn't the first time that Jeffrey Dahmer has been made into a movie or a TV series or whatnot.
Yeah.
within that, you're gonna have people that can't really distinguish the line between like the heinous acts that he did and just viewing him as a Hollywood character, you know?
Right.
And so for me, it's hard. Like as much as like Hollywood is trying to like make money off this guy's wrongdoings, it's on people to sort of have the wherewithal within themselves to know it's not okay.
Yeah,
I don't know,
like
like
a serious thing.
yeah, it's not like he
Like-
was on the news and now people are like, you know, like if it was like a thing that was on the news this year and it was known that, you know, what he did and all this, like in the present time what he did,
Right.
I would understand it at that point. It's not
Right.
like we're finding our Halloween costumes off like the news and stuff like that. That's kind of more so like, okay, these are like current events. I don't think people are really in the space. This was in the 80s, right? 70s?
Yeah, it wasn't like the
70s, 80s.
around
Yeah.
there.
Like that's so long ago. People aren't putting themselves in that space where they understand that, you know, what this guy did.
But I think since a lot of people, well, on the show and stuff, it says like, you know, this is based off real events, or, you know, this is based on an actual story, and you kind of know that this was real. I think you kind of get that understanding of this dude really did this stuff. And plus on Netflix, they have the actual his documentary, like the full documentary behind it. So with me, I think like the comparison that some of these people are making as far as like, oh yeah, it's a horror character, I think it removes the gravity of the fact that these are real people that faced the crimes behind what he did.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, and some of them are still alive today. Like the 14-year-old's brother, he's still alive today.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just thinking of the mindset of like, what if this man is chilling at home on Halloween and he, you know, kids are ringing the doorbell and he opens it up and just see kids, you know what I mean, dressed up as the same guy who killed his brother. You know what I mean? Like that would,
of course, yeah, I get
that would be heavy.
I just feel when I'm looking at like, bro, 2020, what were people dressing up as? A Netflix show, Tiger King, bro. People
Oh, really?
yeah, like every
That's
year
funny.
people be dressing up as like some Netflix
Yeah,
show.
yeah. I know they did Squid Games.
Squid Games
recently.
last
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
And that was a pretty crazy show. And granted, it
Yeah.
wasn't real, but also like it's just hard for people. Like, bro, Netflix is like really like people's point of reference for thinking of Halloween costume ideas, in my opinion. So it's hard. And it's not like it was a documentary. It was literally like a TV
show. Yeah. So maybe.
So are you pissed if someone dresses as O.J. Simpson?
Oh, that's a good point. Because I don't know if I would really care like that.
And granted,
I mean,
I'm not saying it's on the same scale, but
Yeah,
you
'cause I
know,
was about to say,
he may or may not have killed his wife
Yeah.
or ex-wife.
Yeah.
And so you got a kid who came up with the glove on and a
Yeah.
Buffalo Bills jersey. But he saw the show OJ in 2019. I'm saying, like, if we were in the time 2019, and that's just on. It's just that's what people do, bro. It's on
Yeah.
Netflix. It's the most trending thing. People are gonna do it. Squid Games last year, Tiger King the year before that. It's just whatever show comes out next year, whether it's about a murderer or such and such.
Yeah.
That's what people are gonna jump on.
It's difficult too, because you saying that somebody brought up a good point that the Leatherface character was actually like a real situation
it?
that happened. Yeah, the whole Texas chainsaw thing was actually based off of a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
So people dress up as that character now too. So it's like, I don't know. You know what I mean? It's like it's interesting. That's an interesting take on that, I feel. But I mean, do you think you would have a problem with people who, if they dressed up like R. Kelly nowadays?
I wouldn't really know that someone's dressed up as R. Kelly. I don't think he really has.
He doesn't have a definitive look.
Yeah. They would have to be coming in like singing "I Believe I Can Fly" or some shit,
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, I mean that's like he was doing some whack shit too. But
Yeah.
you know, and like Bill Cosby, you know, it's hard, bro. Like it's Halloween, like everyone's dressing as things that they never in their life would do, bro.
Yeah.
Jason, Freddy, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I mean, some people are, you know, but I
Yeah.
mean, for the most part, if you dressing scary and shit, what are you gonna be for Halloween?
I'm doing a Jason take and a Stranger Things take.
Okay, Stranger Things, which is
Yeah.
you know
Netflix
too. Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't, I didn't break out the box.
Yeah,
I'm in
you
the
were in
Netflix.
that. Yeah, you
Not
are
that
stuck
innovative.
in the non-innovative Netflix creative box there.
Yep, you know how that is. No. But if somebody came to your house dressed up as Dahmer, you wouldn't mind. You just be like, all right, get your candy,
Yeah.
little nasty kid.
Yeah.
Just
You
kidding.
couldn't be more creative.
Yeah.
Okay, bro. Give us some candy.
Just the glasses and the button up.
Nah, look at the
t-shirt, huh?
parents. This is what you did. Okay. Fuck.
Take your M&Ms
Yeah.
and your candy corn.
Here's
You
your
getting
fucking-
candy
yeah.
corn.
Yeah, here's your fucking nasty ass fucking 100 grands. Nasty ass baby Ruths.
Hey, Baby Ruth is kind of good.
Do you like baby Ruths?
Yeah, they're not bad to me.
I'm more of a since we're on the topic, I'm always a sour candy, but people don't really give out sour candies for Halloween.
No.
So I used to be like Reese's.
Oh yeah, I love the Reese's.
Yeah.
And the Snickers.
Snickers.
Snickers is fine,
Yeah.
too. But you know what? Why do people give out candy corn?
See, I think
Or
candy corn
Dum-Dums.
is okay.
I don't like the Dum-Dums neither.
What are Dum-Dums?
The little suckers? It's like the small suckers.
Oh,
and-
I'll be pissed. That they give you at the
Yeah.
dentist office?
yeah, exactly.
Hell no.
Those
I'll throw it back at them, bro.
Yeah.
That is so.
Or the Smarties, and they come in that little thing.
Oh, see, Smarties cool.
Smarties all right, but it's like if you
I
get that,
like
it's not like
Smarties.
their number one choice. I'm just like, oh, Smarties.
Yeah,
all right.
nah, we not coming back here next year. Yeah.
yeah. Like, don't knock on their door no more.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, if you're giving out candy, I think it's just very simple to go to the local grocery store or Target, whatever, and find the bag that has like the Reese's, the good chocolates.
Yeah. Reese's,
and
Kit
just
Kat,
go with that.
Twix, Snickers, and stuff like that.
I am a big fan of the caramel apple pops though.
Oh yeah, those is fire.
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
I used
When
to
they got
love
that,
as a
those the
kid.
best.
Yeah. When you find one, that's rare too. 'Cause not a
Yeah.
lot of people give those out.
Yeah.
But if you get one of those, it's like, oh yeah, it's
Mhm.
popping now. Yeah, I used to love those. Dang, that was a good good thought.
I don't. You're like in a housing. You're like more houses and like you're like I'm in a condominium complex.
Yeah.
So we don't get trick or treaters. Do you
Yeah.
get trick or treaters here? Because I feel like the art of trick or treating is dead.
Oh yeah. I think nowadays they pick the good neighborhoods. They're not gonna come over here that much. They're
Yeah. This is this is the east side, but
Yeah.
you know, it's still though.
they
like,
going to the rich neighborhoods with the big
Yeah.
houses where
big,
they giving the king size,
family size. Yeah.
They're not coming over here. Kids got smart with that giant.
But
Take
not
me
just
to the
that. I
good
think
neighborhood.
people are just scared, and it's funny, not funny. Ironic enough, Jeffrey Dahmer, those type of things. People don't want to go knock on people's doors no more.
Oh,
You don't know
yeah.
who anybody is anymore. So
Right.
it's like,
You don't know where you're going.
yeah. And I remember like growing up, it used to be anthrax. You
Yeah.
remember they put an anthrax or hey, make sure that your candy's not open. They go have a fucking needle in there. It's like, bro,
They're gonna have razors in
is
there.
people really putting some razors in some candy, bro? That's crazy.
Yeah, that's dark. Cause
But I never heard of anybody having that. Or,
Yeah, but my thing is like, if you do it, like, you're not getting. How do you get pleasure off of that? Because you're not seeing the person eat it.
Yeah.
So would you just gonna wait till it comes on the news? Like,
Yeah.
Just standing by the TV.
Or yeah,
like,
you going to the bus stop the next morning, seeing no kids are going to. Oh, this is fantastic. They all have my razor candy. Like what the fuck? I don't get it.
Yeah, it makes no sense. Like you just looking for it. Like, dang, I wonder when that news episode's gonna come with them kids eating the freaking razor candy.
That's why I think there's a lot of just like false. Like when we were kids, it was all just like a game and telephone. Like nowadays, it's social
Yeah.
media, so you could go look at facts and shit. Like,
Yeah.
oh, when is this last time this actually happened?
Yeah.
Whereas with us, someone say it at your school, oh shit,
Yeah,
hey,
you get
such and
scared for
such
a
told me
minute.
this, yeah,
Yeah.
and then everyone's like, oh shit, this is the new thing, we can't, and it's like, bro,
It's not that bad.
Yeah.
It's not. And then parents would be so overprotective back then, so they'll make a big deal out of it.
Throw your candy all on the floor.
Yeah. Don't eat not one candy until you get home, and give me that back so I can check it. You're like, oh my gosh, like seriously? Somebody
check
got
through
a
it.
poison in it.
Was it that? You happy?
Yeah, right. I used to be nervous if I saw like a hole in my candy. Like, oh, what happened?
I used to check it when they give it to you.
Yeah.
Okay, this is good.
No, if I like opened it to eat it, like you know those little Tootsie Rolls, and one time I saw like a little hole in there, and I was like, should I eat this? Like, did they put poison in here? What happened? Yeah, it makes you worried. But shoot, it's parents' worry that made me worry. I wouldn't have been tripping.
Yeah, that parent anxiety, man, that's a different beast.
Oh yeah, yeah. Parents can be on a whole nother machine with that thing and make people worry. But you know what? You know what made me nervous to go to other people's house is the movie Strangers. Like I know I say that a lot.
Yeah, Strangers was a tough one.
It was a scary
But that's
movie.
what I'm saying. Like all these movies, same with like The Purge and shit. Like it just, they've created such like a reality of
Really
made up
happen.
shit.
Yeah.
That potentially could happen.
Yeah.
That everyone's like all on edge. There's literally no trick or treat anymore. Everyone goes to like trunk or treats now and shit. It's just like that's kind of ass,
right? Or they go to the good neighborhoods. But then you know what else too? I keep my front light off, so that could be why they don't come to my house. It's not that inviting.
Not that inviting, and you got to go up the driveway around. Like if anything, you have the perfect house to like have like a little mini haunted house.
Oh yeah. Scare some kids.
Yeah, that side.
But they're probably already scared just walking up here. Like,
yeah, so then you emphasize upon it. And you sit in a chair, act like you a scarecrow. Ah! You know,
give a kid a heart attack.
Yeah.
Give a kid a heart attack.
That's fun. That's the funnest though.
Scaring kids.
Oh hell yeah, I would have so much fun if I had like.
I think I was the kid getting scared back in the day.
So you don't want to emphasize upon that.
No, I mean I'll scare some people for some fun, but I used to be the kid that would get scared in the haunted house.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh yeah. This ain't working for me. Oh my god. Crying and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, and then once you get through it a couple times, you're like, okay, like, these people really not killing me. So let's go through.
Yeah.
Like Fright Dome, I remember. Fright Dome used to be, so we have the Adventure Dome here in Vegas. We're based in Vegas, and the Adventure Dome's like this thing at the Circus, like a inside theme park, and this pink dome at Circus. And during Halloween, they turned it into Fright Dome. Did you ever go to Fright Dome?
Yeah, I went one time.
And that's when you was like crying and didn't want to go?
No. I was older when I went.
Oh.
So, yeah.
No, see, I mean, shit, until I got like 15, I was petrified of. So that's what I was going to say. So I went with my boys from middle school. We're all amped up. They hyping it up. We get there early.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so it's still daytime out. So it starts to get dark. The scare actors start to come out. And this one I start to think, oh, shit, maybe this is not for me, bro.
Yeah.
And then, you know, they start bringing out the chainsaws. They start staring at you from the balcony and shit.
Oh, yeah.
And I turn around. I said, hey, is your mom still here? I'm going to fuck. Can she take me home, please? But I love scary shit now. But that's what I'm saying. You kind of got to go through. I think all of us as kids, because we watch scary movies, we hear about all the shit on the news and shit. There's no telling like where all your anxieties come from.
Yeah.
And so I definitely went through that phase of being super scared of haunted houses and shit. But.
Yeah. And parents like to scare kids. Like my uncle, he used to lock us in closets with the lights off and be like, Freddy Krueger's going to get you. And it's like, like, of course we terrified. You got us locked in the door. We can't see nothing. We thinking Freddy's coming. Like, now and then we scared to go to sleep.
Yeah, and then you get out the closet and he has it on the TV.
Yeah. Or then we'll get out the freaking closet. He'll be nowhere in sight, but the whole house will be black. And then
yeah, that's bad, bro.
Then he pops out of nowhere. Give a kid a heart attack.
Yeah.
It's like, that junk is no joke. Don't be playing like that with my life. Now I'm terrified.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't play with stuff like that.
Nah, I agree with that. That's a little rough. I don't know how I would be, you know, once I have kids or once my niece and nephew get older and stuff. But
Yeah, if you just gonna scare them for no reason.
yeah, because
Stuff like
I
that.
like scaring people, man. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun. Like I thought I always wanted to be like that seasonal haunted house worker.
Oh yeah, like go in for a little
Yeah,
bit.
like work at Fright Dome or like one of those places.
Yeah. I think you know who I think could really do stuff like that is those people who like with the crazy like abstract looks who get some like the surgery done and stuff where their eyes are like
Oh
different and
yeah.
stuff like that. Because that junk it definitely catches an eye. That's for sure.
You saying it'll scare the shit out of
Man.
you?
Man, there's this one time I went to EDC and there was a dude that looked like a legit demon that was just walking through like the whole EDC park and like
From
through the crowd.
surgery?
Well, I think some of it was surgery, but then a lot of
Like
it was
he had the horns
paint and
implanted in his
Yeah, it
head
looked
and stuff.
crazy. Like when you see him, it just looked insane. Like you would really think it was a demon walking through there. And then his
Who
whole
wants to
skin was
live?
red. I was like,
Well, I don't get wanting to live like that, bro. But
man,
hey, to each his own.
I'll tell you, he caught eyes though, cause like talking about move through a crowd.
Yeah, everyone was like,
yeah, it
"Hey, I'm
spread.
good." Yeah.
He just walked right through, and I was like,
Well, we was trying to be in the front for fucking Tiesto.
now you don't even want to be at that stage no more. It's
Yeah.
like, geez, I got Satan over here in real life, in the
Yeah.
audience. Like, what type of junk?
Yeah, because you know, so people party out there.
Oh yeah,
People
Yeah.
party. I think that's well aware. And so you partying a little bit. Next thing you know, you see a demon. Like, what the fuck?
What is this in here?
Yeah.
Who is this demon?
You said I wasn't gonna trip.
Yeah.
No, it's good.
It takes you to a whole nother level seeing something like that. You just start thinking, so, did I just die?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's that junk. That's a whole nother ball game right there. That's why.
So, conclusion. What about kids dressed as Jeffrey Dahmer?
I'll say this. You had an interesting take on that.
Mm-hmm.
That actually, because my initial thought was like it's wrong in general, but seeing your take, I can get a little bit of the perspective. But I'll say I still probably fall a little bit on the along the lines of if I saw a kid dressed up as Jeffrey Dahmer, I'm definitely gonna have like a side eye at the parents, like,
Yeah.
what are you out here doing?
I get that.
What?
I just, like I said, like as much as things get glorified and stuff, it's hard to put it on the average person to have the, you know, understanding that that's not okay when
Yeah.
it's perceived like it's okay because they've turned it into a TV show 10 times already.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Which is crazy because I don't know why they keep trying to.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Even when people are saying, have you seen Dahmer? I'm like, I mean, shit, I know his story. Shit, I heard about it a few times. Shit.
Which one?
Now they're
Like,
doing it again?
Yeah. They
You
keep
know
reviving it.
you know he was eating people? Shit, yeah, that's what they were saying in fucking 22.
You know what I
2002.
think? Eventually, he's gonna have like, something where they actually make spin-offs about him. You know, like an actual horror character based off of him. I can see that.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, have you seen Dahmer 2? There's a Dahmer 2? How?
Yeah, what the fuck?
He's an actual scary character
Yeah.
now. Like, oh, you don't know now. It's like, oh.
Dahmer versus Jason.
Yeah, like something like that. So weird. Like, how did we get here? But hey, that's life, I guess. Shoot, you never know.
It's funny because one of our hosts, Snoop, he I think you had saw this too, but he was on Facebook and he had saw this post that said, is it considered a date if you take your significant other out to some wings
Yeah.
and fries? I'll let you start with this. Like, what's your
my
opinion?
take?
Yeah, what's your take on this? Is it considered a date if you take, you
Man.
know, a girl or guy out for a for some wings and some fries?
Yeah. So I saw this post, and I'll say my initial thought to this is it's a date.
Mm-hmm.
It's a date, but I'll say it's a date if you're still doing the things online along the lines to make it a date. You know what I mean? So if you're still like being a gentleman, and you know, like maybe you're like opening the car door, you're paying for their food and all that stuff to make it like seem like a date, like we're actually out, then it's a date. Like, but if you're like kicking it and you just like pay for your own food, do this, do that, like we just chilling, I don't think it would fit along the lines of the date aspect. But if you're making it a date and you guys are going out and you're paying for them and y'all still chilling, but you're doing the things along the line to be a gentleman about it, then it's a date.
Yeah, I think you even oversold like what a date is supposed to be. I feel like a date is really two people doing an activity in the midst of trying to get to know each other better.
Yeah.
And so like even like having to like quote unquote be a gentleman and like pay shit, even if we go to, you know, I feel like it's a date as long as within the guidelines of you two trying to get to know each other better or spend time with each other during an activity. To me, that's a date.
Right.
Whether it's chicken wings and fries, whether it's a steakhouse, whether it's sushi, whether it's fucking McDonald's.
Yeah.
To me, that's a date.
Yeah. I think what's problematic to me is that people have to question whether or not something like that would be a date. You know what I mean? Because it's like, are you looking for like the lavish, I need to go out and go to a restaurant and sit down for something to be considered a date? Because what if somebody's not fortunate? What if we're in high school? Like, are you still going to base that? You know, stuff like that.
I think that's kind of my point. It gets to a point where, okay, yes, this is a date, but then you come to terms with this person that you're going on a date with if they're meeting your standards. Standards could be financial, physical, mental, you know, and so within that, okay, you have set your standards that you feel like wings and fries aren't up to your standard. Yeah. But shit, if we starting to play like that, it gets to a point where it's like, hey, you know, shit, your standard better come with some benefits. Yeah. Or, you know, just like once you get, I don't know. I just feel like once it gets to that point, because to what you were saying, like, yeah, some people do feel like, okay, well, I'm worth more than wings and fries. Which, by the way, like, who are you? Like, I could be a fucking billionaire. I'm still gonna eat wings and fries.
Facts. Yeah, exactly. Like, how can you question everybody in the world? Don't nobody not eat wings and fries? Yeah. Pretty much everybody in the world eats wings and fries.
Yeah, we're not talking about a fucking like Big Mac and large fries. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're talking about wings and fries. Yeah.
And wings are expensive nowadays.
Yeah, they got wing appetizers at high-end restaurants. Yeah. You know? And so
like, I don't understand that logic. But then also I'm thinking along the lines of like, what if somebody did something that isn't even considered like expensive or lavish? Like, what if somebody a man just took a woman out to like a park and did like a picnic aspect? Exactly. Are you gonna question that because you're just eating sandwiches and apples, or are you just gonna see that as a date? You know?
And that's kind of the point with standards. Like, people, not just women, men too, they're gonna come to their standards, but I think it's understanding like within those standards what you're setting yourself up for as well, you know? And so like some people may look at the situation compared to wings and fries. Okay, you're not making the wings, you're not making the fries. Shit, I had to pay for myself. Okay, whereas you go to the picnic, shit, you went to the store to go get a blanket, a basket, the sandwiches. You set it all up. Yeah. There's some things outside of financial where it could be like, okay, this person is putting forth the effort. Yeah. And at that point, it raises the standard in which I feel like they're treating me, right? So yeah, it's just all perception at the end of the day. Yeah,
that's very true. It is perception and how people view these types of things. But still, I mean, just a question, because we touched on it a little bit. But do you think that a man supposed to pay for a date every time, or do you think
Supposed to?
or do you think they should?
Okay, so I don't think anybody should be forced to do anything.
Yeah.
I think if a man wants to pay, like for me, for instance, I'm cool paying.
Yeah.
But also like in considering standards, right? Like, okay, you first off, you want to be paid for, but you don't want to do wings and fries.
Yeah, exactly.
That doesn't align for me.
So
like,
you
hey,
make the
if I'm paying,
stipulation?
if I'm paying, the stipulation is I get to pick.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
even, the I buy you fly shit,
Mhm.
that's because of stipulations, It's like, hey, I'm buying, but you're going to fly there. This is a
Yeah.
place you want to go to,
Yeah.
and I'll buy, but since you want to go to this place so bad, you got to drive. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And so like it's the same thing with like wings and fries. Okay, you don't want wings and you don't want wings. You want sushi. Maybe we should go half and half.
Maybe we should split the bill. Like
Yeah.
that all you can eat. I'm gonna get all you can eat. What you getting?
Yeah.
You just
That's the thing too.
appetizer?
Oh, now you don't want all you can eat sushi because the quality is worse. Okay. I just think I don't know. It's just such like a gray area in the sense of I think just perception in general. And
Yeah.
so like people could perceive like, okay, I feel like I'm worth this, but in being in feeling like you're worth something, in my opinion, you should have the comfortability that you can afford it and it not be an issue.
Yeah.
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 And so like within that, it's like, hey, I feel like I'm worth this. You want to do me the favor and buy it for me to show the dynamic in which how you feel about me. Cool.
Yeah.
But then once it gets to a point where it's like, hey, I know you just paid for these wings, or I know you just paid for the steakhouse, but I also need a little help on my phone bill, and it's like, hey, come on, bro. So you picky about the damn. We couldn't go get no fucking wings, but T-Mobile still got you on fucking,
Yeah.
Now we got fucking issues.
And what if like sometimes, well, a lot of times women will ask the man to choose. And what if the man's just in the mood for wings? Like, I want wings today. Like,
Yeah.
let's go get some wings. So it's like sometimes people don't want the lavish meal. Sometimes it's something simple is all I want. Like sometimes I'm in the mood for wings. Like, dang, I just want
Wings
some
are
wings.
good, bro.
Yeah.
Like, and they got different variety. Okay, you want
Right.
some spicy or savory or sweet?
Yeah.
We got it all.
Yeah. Everything's there.
Yeah, then you can
Everything's
dip it in
understandable.
honey mustard or ranch or blue cheese or like whatever the fuck you want.
You can get celery or fries. What you-
Yeah, some carrots.
Yeah.
Shit. That's why I want to go here.
Exactly.
But it's weird. Speaking of like the indecisiveness of like picking a spot.
Yeah.
Why? I don't know why it's of within the female anatomy, I guess you could say, that they're not hungry typically
Mm-hmm.
when you're ordering.
Yeah. I know.
Then you
don't.
get the fucking food and now they're hungry or they
Yeah.
want to try one. Why is that a thing, you think?
I think you know what I think it is the sight of food and the fact, and I also think it's because it's your food. Like sometimes when you're watching somebody enjoy food and you say you didn't want to eat at first, you're seeing how they're eating, and you're like,
But have you felt
now
like
it's
that?
saying, this looks good. I'll say there's some times where like I won't eat somewhere. I'll just be like I wasn't hungry when I initially came. But then, like, I'll have ate before I came to a place. But then I'll go and I'll see them eating.
Start
I'll be
smelling
like,
the
"Dang, that
food
junk
and
looks-
shit
yeah.
too. Yeah.
This junk does kind of look good. Like I could use, I could use this right
Hey,
now.
can I get a
low-key."
couple fries actually?
Yeah, yeah. That's funny because we went to This is actually a crazy story. We were doing a photography event. Me and my photography partner Diamond. Shout out to Diamond, but yeah, we were doing this event and they were doing it at is it PF Chang's? I think it's PF Chang's they were doing it at. So we're in this restaurant. We're shooting for them and doing all this stuff.
And what was this for? It
was a
graduation. A
wedding ceremony.
Okay.
So they're doing like their little reception in there. So they're doing their talks and stuff like that. So the food comes out, and we're like taking pictures and stuff like that. They did not offer us like not one dish, no food, no nothing. So we just have to watch them eat.
That's so bad, bro.
Yeah. So we're just watching them eat, and it's like, what are we gonna do? We can't take y'all pictures of you eating. Like, that's not really like an attractive picture, you know what I mean? So we took some pictures, just like, okay, just in case you guys want it. But it's like nobody wants to see you like
yeah
in a picture. So I was just like, we're just sitting there for a second, and they didn't offer us not one thing, not the waiter, not the people who were paying us or nothing. And we're just sitting there just like, this is messed up, you know? So I was a little irritated. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I was a little irritated. So I'm like, you know what? I just want to get this over with. I don't want to eat nothing.
Did you do the whole ceremony? Like you did like the reception, like the actual ceremony and then the reception?
We did right after the ceremony. So we had to go to the ceremony and wait for them to come outside and do all their pictures outside, because they have a photographer in the building that has to take the pictures in the building.
Oh, so they couldn't bring in someone.
So they couldn't bring us in.
Okay.
But we had to wait outside for them to finish and then do their pictures outside. And then we had to drive to the reception place.
Yeah.
And yeah, we didn't get offered food the whole time. But then the cake...
That's wedding etiquette, bro.
I know, right? So then the cake comes out, right? And when the cake comes out, I think the best man, which is like the man's son... He's seen that, like, of course, we not eating nothing. And now they get into the dessert. So now he finally asks, he's like...
Y'all want some cake?
Yeah.
Man, I'm hungry as shit, and you gonna give me a fucking piece of cake?
And that's how I felt.
Yeah.
So when Diamond initially asked me, she was like, he asked you want some cake? You want some cake? And I'm like, no. You know, because I'm at this point mad, so like, forget it, just nah. I want some real food, you know, like.
So she gets a cake. She gets a slice of cake.
Yeah, so she gets a cake, and I'm watching them eat the cake, and I'm like,
damn, that look good.
Yeah.
Maybe I should have dropped my ego a little bit.
That's exactly what happened. So I'm watching them eat, and I'm like, dang. So I go back into the dude. I was like, you know what? I could use a piece of cake right now. And he was like, I knew you was hungry.
Hey, that's foul though, bro.
Yeah. And then after that, when we're all clean and we're like getting ready to leave, we're on the way out. Like we basically doing the last set of pictures. The waiter comes up to us. You know, if you guys want something from the salad bar, you guys can go to the top. We were like, nah, we're leaving at this point. Like,
that's crazy.
I'm going
though.
home.
I feel like, bro, that's always written in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you pay for 100 people.
Yeah. And your photographer and your
and you have some leftovers for them.
That's what we thought, you know. And I was like, you know what?
Because if not, then the lens starts gets out of focus a little bit. You know, you want to make sure you replenished.
You start getting hungry and you start missing shots because your stomach growling. You just like, now you're not focused.
Yeah, exactly.
You looking at the wrong areas.
And when did you eat at all that day?
Oh, we
before?
ate after.
No, but like before.
Oh no, we didn't.
Because you thought you was going. And what you thought? Like, did you go in thinking okay, it's gonna be at PF Chang's.
Yeah.
So, we'll get a couple lettuce wraps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I figured like we're probably gonna eat there because we're in there with them in the food place, so they're probably gonna have to, like give us a dish or two, or like just at least one plate.
How long?
It was about three and a half, almost 4 hours. So it was shocking for me because it was like a wake up call. I was like, I can't believe this just happened. I can't believe we sitting over here and we gotta watch these people eat. But yeah, I was like, now I'm gonna put that junk in our little contract.
Yeah,
thing. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, if you're gonna have us for more than a good set of hours, and you guys are eating,
we need a plate. I just need a plate,
food.
Bro. I just need
right.
Like if we're at PF Change, just give me some fried rice, some orange chicken. I'm good.
Yeah. At the end of the day, so I don't know. I do not know, but it's crazy to me. I couldn't do it.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think let's cap it off right there. If you are having a wedding, have some integrity.
Pay for your photographers.
Not just photographers. Like I feel like even like
Oh yeah, like
bartenders and shit like that. Like, hey, yo, you want a plate? Like,
yeah, anybody
you got to be hungry, bro. You've been here 6 hours. Yeah, you've been here 6 hours.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Anybody who's helping you. If you got a videographer, buy them some food. Like anybody who has to like help you with your event, they should be accommodated if they have to stay over a certain amount of time. You know, like if it's somebody who's just got to come in the beginning, like it's your driver or something, sure. But
yeah, like someone who, but if they're in the midst of, if someone is there during eating,
yeah,
they deserve a plate.
Yeah. I mean, it was crazy to see because I never experienced that. That was like my first time ever experienced something like that where we had to watch people eat and couldn't do nothing about it. And I know if we were to say like, yeah, you know, like, can we have a plate? I'm pretty sure they probably would have been like,
yeah, but you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
You're like, this should be effortless. Like how effortless it was for them to ask, you want some cake?
Yeah, yeah.
And then to have the audacity to say, I knew you were hungry.
Oh yeah,
Bro, cake don't got no protein. Like this shit ain't gonna help me.
And that's what I was thinking, especially because nowadays I've been on this like health stuff, so I really haven't been eating a lot of sugar. So that's like one of the main reasons why I didn't want to get cake in the first place either. I was like, I want to actually get some real food first. But
yeah,
like these people made me have to go and get the sugar and all this stuff in my system. Like, dang, that's crazy.
Was it good?
Cake was good though.
Yeah, it was.
I can't.
I'll tell you.
I can't deny the cake. It was still good, but shoot. But yeah, I guess to sum it up, pay your or freaking accommodate your photographers, accommodate anybody who's at your event, and also be able to be appreciative of wings and fries on a date.
Yeah,
and just being real, you know. But sheesh. But when it comes to dating, some people do not like dating outside their race. Some people do. Some people see it as problematic. Some people don't. So I mean, you want me to take this one first, or what's your thoughts? Or
just what in regards to what is having
race as a preference? Do you think having race as a preference is right or wrong when it comes to dating?
I think, like as I was saying, with like standards and stuff like that, within standards, physical, mental, financial, all that sort of shit, within physical standards, like everyone's going to have preferences. Just so be it. Like some people, you know, I think race can be included within that. It's hard. I don't know. Like, cause it's hard to say in the sense of like, okay, that's totally wrong that you won't date outside your now, because it's there's no telling, in my opinion, if the person actually finds the person attractive.
Yeah,
you know. And so with it being that, like, that's tough. But I think it is a little tough to say like, okay, me as a white man, I never find a Mexican woman attractive.
Yeah, yeah.
To say that on a grand scale of everything is pretty nuts, because you haven't seen every Mexican woman in the world, you know. And so I think when you look at that in that regard, yeah, if you're totally closed off from it, I think it is definitely an issue. But if you've yet to find somebody who meets your preferences,
yeah,
I don't think that's necessarily an issue.
Yeah. See, I'm on the basis of like where you were going where you were going prior when you said you haven't seen all the, like, you know, Mexican women in the world, or whatever. Like I definitely think that people like to box themselves up in things without even having the experience of other things, you know. And sometimes it could be just you're really stern and keen on certain things and you already know exactly what you want. That's, you know, that's fine. But if it comes to like in a judgmental state, I guess that's where I can see it as being wrong.
Yeah.
But I will say there's a lot of people who sometimes do say that they prefer certain races, and sometimes I just be like, all right. Like I remember, it's a funny story because it's somebody you know, but I'm gonna tell you the person's name after. But
Yeah.
somebody that we both know.
I wonder if I'll be able to know prior to you telling me by this story. We'll see.
Yeah, I'll tell you I'll tell you this much. They worked with me for a little bit, but
Oh, okay. Yeah.
yeah. So they were talking to this one girl, and she was mixed. She was mixed with black and white, but she only liked white guys.
Uh-huh.
And then one day she was on the phone and she was talking about like stuff, and then I think they were joking around with her and said like, yeah, you need to you gonna get you a black guy one day or something like that, something funny like that. And then she was like, I'll never put a black D in me.
What the hell?
I was like, are you serious? Girl, you came from a black D. Like, how does that make sense? How does that make sense? But I guess she's stern on what she wants and she's driving it home. But I mean, I don't know. For me, for me personally, I wouldn't consider race a preference. And I feel like everybody can have their thoughts on how they want to operate in that sense. And if you feel like you need to have a race as a preference, then by all means do so. But for me personally, I just wouldn't, because going back to what he said, like it's just so much of a broad range of different races out here and so many different people, and all there's beauty in all races. And being that I haven't seen everybody, I couldn't just judge somebody and be like, oh, I couldn't date this race just because what I'm seeing in my city,
Yeah.
or, or my town or on TV or whatever the case is. I couldn't just judge a race particularly on that, because shoot, I might go to a certain area and be like, well, dang.
Yeah.
I'm shocked.
Nah, and
that surprised me.
In the regard that you said it too, like not being a preference. Yeah, I think like if you are of the thought where it's like, hey, what kind of girls you like? Well, shit, I only like, white girls.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I mean, you really haven't expanded upon your range. I think there's so many different types of people in the world that, saying it more so as a preference is, I agree with you, not valid. I was saying more so just in the sense like, hey, if you've yet to find someone that you find attractive,
yeah,
makes sense. So, because whether it be your own race or whatever, we all go through that where it's like, yeah, I don't find this person attractive,
Right. No, I agree with you on that sense, because I just don't know. For me, I love all races. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I'm serious at the same time.
Yeah, no, that's chill.
Yeah.
That's why I say I don't close myself off from anything either.
Isn't that crazy that a lot of people do?
Well,
are closed-minded.
Yeah,
about
but what's
things?
crazy is like when you think of the broad spectrum of just like thought processes in the world, upbringing could play a part in that.
Yeah.
Your family values, like your culture, all that shit can play a factor.
Yeah.
The unknowingness, I don't even know if that's a word, but not knowing what the reaction would be to you dating someone else from a different race, you know what I'm saying, and not necessarily wanting to deal with that potential pressure and stuff. A lot of things can go into it.
That is true, because some cultures don't like people dating outside their race.
Yeah,
so
or outside their religion, outside their
Yeah.
culture, and so within all that,
Very, very true. In that aspect, yeah, and it's just like I do feel like people can be very closed-minded to certain things. Thinking on this, when you were saying that, it brought me to this thought of I had a crazy conversation with my homie the other day when they were talking about people who have their nails painted.
Mm-hmm.
They was like, yeah, I just feel like that's a real feminine thing. And I was like, I think it's depending on how it's being conveyed. if it's feminine or not. You know what I mean? I was like, I can't just say like every man who wears nail polish is feminine because they have nail polish on. I was like, that's pretty like a closed-minded way of thinking about it, because rock stars have their nails painted black all the time, and we're not walking around like,
and they be fucking feminine. The fuck out of women.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's like, I can't really box
running
my
through
mind
them
in that sense, because I was like, you see goth people out there, nails painted.
Yeah.
You see a lot of people out there.
Well, I just feel like, just in general, like, orientation is, obviously this is a little different, but I feel like it's treated as it's so black and white, but like, I feel like it's like a spectrum too. Like there's times where I'm like, okay, yeah, that's like, this is a good looking dude. I get why she think he, this is a good looking dude. You know what I'm saying? But what is that, gay, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I feel like more so it's like a spectrum where we can understand certain things, and it not be okay anytime you compliment this or something like that it's automatically that way.
People definitely bring that, and I think that comes from upbringing as well, though.
Yeah,
people have a certain way of looking at what is feminine and what is masculine and what is, and they define gay and straight by these.
Yeah, like, oh, you got painted nails. That's what girls do. So you must. And it's like, bro, like, I just like, I don't like the regular color of my fingernails. I wanted them black.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
Same thing with like when they were saying the tight jeans thing.
Yeah,
tight jeans is, and then they started saying like, I remember when they said leather pants was.
Yeah,
but then I was just like, our colored pants were. And it was just like,
remember back in the day, you couldn't even have both ears pierced.
Oh yeah,
So you was feminine if you didn't have just the left ear.
You just
pierced.
need one.
Yeah.
Your clothes needed to be baggy. Like, you need to have these traits, or you're feminine.
Yeah, or else we know about you, buddy.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
I'm telling the whole school about you. You're like, dang, dude, all I do is just have on some skinny jeans.
Yeah.
Too tight. I don't get no wiggle room. It's like, dang, man. Like, it's just crazy how. But I just think society's way of thinking sometimes can be a little crazy and a little boxed in. I wish we can break out of that box sometimes.
I think just viewing everything just on a spectrum scale, as opposed to just everything being so black and white. Like I say, even with racial preference or not even just dating in general.
Yeah.
And instead of thinking it as racial preference, more so, there's a plethora of different looking people in the world. Be open to it.
Yeah. And I feel like you don't need to say what race you prefer. You know what I mean? Even if you do feel more attracted to a certain race, you don't need to say that.
Yeah.
But I feel like some people feel the need to say that. But it's not needed, in my opinion. Like, why do I care what race you have? If you're not into my race, why even tell me that you're not into my race?
You just don't like me.
Yeah, just say you're not into me.
Yeah.
Like, leave it at that. You don't need to put my whole race down. Like, dang, now I'm looking like, dang, you too? Like, no, I got to tell all my whole family, none of y'all can get her.
Yeah, exactly.
That's like, dang.
Oh, I saw you talking to her. She already told me, brother.
None of us.
Don't bark up that tree. Shit.
Yeah, like, too much. I understand in the gender aspect. Like, if you're a girl that prefers girls, you probably need to tell me that. But in race, like, I'm not worried about that.
Yeah.
Don't tell me you don't like black men.
Yeah.
So I need to look at my color and be like, well, dang, I guess I should have painted.
Yeah, exactly.
Painted myself.
Should I have dressed myself as that EDC demon for you?
So what do you think about the color red?
Yeah.
What do you think about red skin? Does that work for you?
Yeah. Exactly.
I've been thinking. How about Michael Jackson? We wasn't sure in the beginning.
Yeah.
So right now.
So you liked him after or before? There's no way, bro. Yeah, I think just in general, man, like, just be open. Be open.
In fact, be open about things, man. I think we need to come to a better understanding of, stuff like that. Opening our mind and stop being so closed off.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Okay, there's this, it's interesting. 2 days ago, or yesterday, I saw a tweet from Kurt Angle. We had brought up The Rock WWE earlier, but
Yeah.
Kurt Angle, WWE wrestler. He's probably Hall of Famer by now, or will be one day. He's pretty known if you watch wrestling. He had tweeted an old match with him and Chris Benoit.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know Chris Benoit?
No.
Okay. Chris Benoit was also a really good wrestler back in the day. But he, trigger warning, give a couple seconds, trigger warning. He ended up killing his son and his wife before killing himself.
Oh, wow.
And a lot of people don't really want to remember his legacy due to the heinous acts that he did. His legacy within wrestling, just wrestling, due to the heinous acts he did. So on this post where he was sort of saying, hey, me and Chris Benoit had like the greatest like matches ever because we would like push each other and it looked even beyond our acting, you know?
Yeah.
And everyone in the comments was like, well, yeah, you know, he did this and this and this. So it just made me wonder, like, do we ever get to a point where you can appreciate someone's exceptionalism in their specific line of work, regardless of potential bad things that they do outside of that line of work, or is it always cut and dry?
Dang. That's such a good topic and such a hard topic to talk about.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it like basically what you're saying is, can people separate the art from the artist in a way?
Yeah.
And I feel like it's hard for some people depending on what happened, because they define the person's characteristics, you know, and some people like to relate to the artist.
Mm-hmm.
And when you see that the artist has done something that's kind of like, I guess, heinous, it changes the perception of the person. It kind of skews the whole likability factor almost. You're like, dang, like, why'd you have to go and do that, you know?
Well, I think that's what's also interesting is, what if the art affected the artist to the extent, like for him, for instance, they studied his brain, similar to like what you're seeing with the NFL players and stuff nowadays, where they're having CTE and shit like that.
Oh.
And they diagnose him with CTE.
Oh, wow.
And so, you know what I'm saying? Like, what if like everything that he put into his art could have potentially been a resulting factor of how his brain was functioning.
Yeah. So it could have. Dang. That.
And it's not to say like, bro, like I obviously I didn't know the guy or anything like that. I'm just saying more so in considering all facets of what happened and what could have went into him, whether, you know, some people speculated steroids and like roid rage or so. Then once they studied his brain and saw CTE, you seen NFL players that played 10 years ago ended up, you know, headed down a bad road because of CTE and just what it does to the human brain, taking too many hits to the head. And so, yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say. Like, of course, yeah, like the story is heart wrenching, but also like just considering, like, you know, like, bro, he was so good in this art that we all loved him for.
Mm-hmm.
There's the potential that all the efforts that he put into this art then translated to how he was feeling.
Yeah.
Or how his brain was then responding at that point in time. It's hard. It's hard to say.
It really is. Because, man, stuff like that, it's like, I don't know. Even when you put it in that perspective, it makes it even more difficult, because now it's like you don't know what played a factor, but it's like, can we really judge? I think that's one of the hardest things for us as people, though, is we judge so much.
Yeah.
Just in the aspect of like people's actions and stuff like that. And sometimes we don't even know, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we don't even know what some of these people that people are idolizing are doing behind the scenes, but people still idolize them. So it's like, just because that information came out, do we reject all of this person's art and what they did? You know, their whole catalog and what they did this whole time. Especially because he probably had years of entertaining people beforehand. People were probably entertained watching it before all this stuff surfaced. So it's like, sometimes.
Well, still, like we had brought up R. Kelly earlier.
Yeah.
Similarly, artist to art. Obviously, his art was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, his art didn't play into his mental capacity of the acts that he was doing. Potentially, the power that he garnered from the art, though, potentially made him feel more comfortable doing things.
Yeah.
Which makes it probably even worse. But, you know, it's just interesting. Like, is it okay to listen to his music?
Yeah, and it's so crazy that you brought up R. Kelly, because this past week I had 2 interactions with people regarding R. Kelly, and both the situations were different. It was crazy.
Like people wanting to listen to him, or people not believing that he did it, or what?
Well, people saying 2 different things that, I guess, in reference to something that was dealing with R. Kelly. Like, okay, I know, have you ever heard that song by Chris Brown, songs on 12 Play? And it's like he's basically paying homage to R. Kelly, like all R. Kelly songs. Well, he has a song. Chris Brown has a song called Songs on 12 Play, and it references a lot of R. Kelly's music. Like, it's basically paying homage to R. Kelly. It has all these different lyrics from his songs. And I was playing that, and as I'm playing it to one of my friends at first, and then he was like, "Who's this?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, this is Chris Brown. He's like doing this song. It's based off of R. Kelly." I told him the whole thing. But then he was like, "Oh, Chris Brown, the woman beater." And I was like, "Oh, that's odd that you said that about Chris Brown, but not about R. Kelly." He didn't say nothing about R. Kelly. And I was just like, that's interesting that he said that about Chris Brown, but not R. Kelly. But then I was playing it to my photography partner, Diamond. We're in the car. And then I was like, I think either she brought it up or I brought it up, but she's just like, I find it interesting that R. Kelly, or that Chris Brown did this about R. Kelly, and how would people perceive it now? You know, like, how are people looking at that now that R. Kelly has done all this stuff? Like,
because he made the song prior to all this stuff.
Yeah, I believe it was prior to all this stuff. So he's like, how would people look at it now? Like, is this like a bad song because, you know, of what R. Kelly did, basically? And would he have still made that song knowing what R. Kelly did, basically? And I was like, dang, that's another interesting take, because that's a different perspective from how the other person's seeing it. So it's just like, I just found that interesting in the aspect of like how people view the art. Yeah. You know, some people are seeing it as what Chris Brown did, and some people are seeing it and referencing all the way back to R. Kelly. You know, and it's just like, is what R. Kelly did, does it affect the artistry of what he did? And in that aspect, it's like, in a way, I guess it did, because people still see different things. But even what Chris Brown did affected his artistry, if we notice, because, like I said, that's one thing that my friend noticed was Chris Brown's act towards women. So it's like, geez, like, you know, it's crazy. Everybody's everybody's viewed by things that they did. Yeah. You know?
Yeah, and that's why it is. I think for sure it's, you know, I also think, now that I'm thinking about it too, there's so many different ways to obtain similar forms of the art of your preference. And so potentially you don't really have to be of dire need to consume the art from somebody who's potentially doing that type of shit. Yeah. You know? Yeah. Like, and so, yeah, I don't know. I guess I think more so. I don't know. I really don't know how I feel on the topic. It just really made me wonder when Kurt Angle tweeted it yesterday and everybody was just hitting on it
Yeah.
And then it just made me think, like, bro, is there ever a time where, okay, you did your time, you did your crime, or hey, it's been such and such time since this happened. We can appreciate like what you brought to us in this facet of who you were when you were a professional at this type thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I feel any sort of way about it at this point.
Yeah, it's a crucial thing. But even getting on to because the topic, the thing that you brought up is like a big thing, and I can see the ripple effect of how that can affect a lot of people, because you're talking about something where lives were taken and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But there's other aspects where somebody will say something, like somebody says a racial slur, and people will jump down their throat about it to where they have to like make a whole video apologizing. They're talking about that, and then sometimes the apology isn't accepted, and it's like, what can you do as an artist, to where people can let that stuff go a lot easier, I guess.
I mean,
and not really hold it against you, and understand that it's a mistake. Like some people want to see like, it's like they want to see change, but it's like, how can you see it if you don't give the person a chance to change?
I think that's everything you explained is kind of like what Kanye is going through right now, right? Like,
yeah,
obviously he was saying some anti-Semitic things and things of that sort, and which is kind of crazy because like he also was saying like slavery was a choice and shit like that, and like, nobody stripped their shit.
Still went to go buy some Yeezys.
Yeah, but
still
hey,
playing the albums
here nor there. I don't know like what the argument even is behind that, like how people come together and say, hey, this ain't okay, and this ain't okay at that time, instead of it getting to the extent where it got it this time, where potentially a different group of people have now said, no, we really not messing with this. I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't want to say like, people just let it slide, but or maybe that people's just voices aren't really respected in that facet. Like, for instance, like saying slavery is a choice, and black people feeling, hey, that's something I'm really upset about, and it not getting to the extent because potentially they don't have the power or the pull to get a Balenciaga or Adidas to demonetize or strip their partnerships with him, whereas he says anti-Semitic things and Jewish people are able to do that. I don't really know what the logistics are with all that, but needless to say, here nor there, it's similar to what we were just talking about with
very similar
R. Kelly, Chris Benoit. They're all on different spectrums as far as what they did, but he does something that people don't agree with or don't like. What does that mean for the art? What does that mean for people who are actually fans of his art and things of that sort?
That's a lot. That's a lot to consider. I don't even think Adidas is working with him no more.
No, and what's crazy, I saw Adidas actually has the rights to like a lot of
his stuff.
They have the 350s, the foam runners, the 700s.
That's crazy.
They own it all.
That's crazy. But I know going back to, I think social media is such a big thing in everything. We're just gonna always boil it down. We might as well just call this social media. No, I'm just kidding. But because I feel like social media definitely plays a big factor in what gets people attention as far as like brands and stuff wanting to cut ties. Like if the outcry and the attention is getting like really high to where a lot of people's talking about it and a lot of people saying, yeah, like I don't mess with this, I think that's when a lot of these sponsors and stuff start getting involved, because it's like,
because now you're taking away their money.
Yeah, it's like I don't want to get the backlash and them start to come for me, so let me just go ahead and X myself out of the equation so I don't have to do nothing with it. And like you said, it's about money, so it's like I'm not gonna have our pockets affected because of you, so I'm gonna just get rid of you and just go ahead and push forward. But that's why when a lot of these people's like, yeah, these companies and these brands don't care nothing about their talent and stuff that they're sponsoring. And it's like, duh.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, of course they don't. If it's affecting their money and their business, yeah, the same way like if you're working at a job and if somebody like made some heavy complaints and you are always the factor and you're the problem, you're the bad seed, they're gonna get rid of you too.
And someone of power comes in and says like, yo, we're gonna have some issues if this guy's still here.
Yeah. They'll X you right on out.
It's like, hey,
that quick.
He pays the bills here, buddy.
Yeah.
You gotta go.
That's serious. And then, like you said, if it came down, if Jewish, I don't know the whole thing about the Jewish media thing, but if they have pull like that and they're like really high up there, of course. Like, why not? Why would they not say, yeah, cut ties with this dude, or yeah, go ahead and stop playing this or stop playing that? Like, he was talking about him.
I'm interested because I researched this because it made me wonder when this got brought up. What percentage of the world is Jewish people?
I have no clue.
Just take a guess.
Percentage? Of the whole world. Maybe in the 20s? 20%?
20%. 0.2%. 14 million Jewish people. 14.5 million Jewish people. That's it.
Dang.
How many Jewish people do you know?
I wouldn't. I don't say. I don't think I know any.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I think it's brought up like, oh, they have all this power, and maybe they do own the right things and stuff like that. But at that point, it's like, if it's a game of numbers and stuff, like who's not doing the right things to be put in the the right spots.
Places.
Yeah. But regardless, I just think that that I found that kind of nuts because when it is brought up like oh, the Jewish people have so much power and stuff like that, it's like, okay, they must be like 35% of the fucking world or some shit. Yeah.
Doing a lot of people in numbers.
Yeah.
But I just think they just know how to handle their money.
Yeah.
They know how to handle their money right.
They support and the support is there. They've created an infrastructure within themselves where they it's
put themselves in the right positions.
Yes.
And then once they get there, it's like, now that I'm here, it's about to change around here. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh shit. No, but I just think, and I think with anything, regardless of it being religion or even just friend groups, like finding ways in which, you could create that infrastructure where, it's more so you guys could build with each other as opposed to it constantly being a competition.
Yeah. Yeah. Which that makes me think, though, do you think that Kanye actually try to, like, I guess, go about it the right way before going about it the way that he went about it?
Like how did he go about it at first?
With that, before like going on a talk show and like kind of like airing all the stuff out, do you think that he actually tried to like go about it like the more cool, collective, like, let's talk about this, I have an issue with this and this? And
it's hard to say. I follow this guy on Twitter, Nate Jones. He actually covers the NBA, but within the NBA, he's worked with like shoe companies and shit. And he was like saying a bunch of shit, how Kanye has like the best shoe deal ever in the history of shoe deals.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like the revenue sharing he gets and all that shit. Like it's like beyond what anybody else gets in shoes.
Well, he kind of touched on that briefly on the podcast a little bit.
Did he?
He said that he had like a lot of pull in Adidas. Like he was like, they can't get rid of me type thing.
And that's what I'm saying. And so at that point, it's like, what more do you want, bro? Like you signed this agreement. Now all of a sudden, hey, they don't like a couple of your designs. Or they not trying to put them at the prices that you want. Now you want out of all this whole thing. That's not how it works, bro. Like and so it's hard to say. Hey, you went about it the right way. Maybe suck it up a little bit. I'm not gonna suck it up. I'm the I'm a billionaire now, so people got to listen to me. I am Adidas, and it's like, okay. I mean, that's at your own leisure, bro. But I think within the world and partnerships and contracts and things of that sort, you gotta play the game. And so I don't know what the right way is.
It's hard though, because I know there's a lot of companies out there that are just greedy and money hungry and will find ways to like, you know, get over on people or juice people the best that they can.
But I think that's what's the crazy part, where I'm hearing like he has the best out of all the people who've had deals. LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
Kanye West has the best revenue share of anybody.
But I mean, like if he say if he was trying to sell it at a lower price point for the people, not saying that that's what he was trying to do, but say if he was, and the company wasn't having that, like maybe he had an issue with that. Like y'all being greedy, y'all trying to take too much money from the people. I don't know, but
yeah. Go tell that to Balenciaga, bro. Like what the hell? Balenciaga sell you some fucking Skechers for $1,250, bro.
I don't even like Balenciaga. I can't even lie. They're
Yeah.
just not. It's not a good brand to me. Not that it's not a good brand. I just think that their products are like lackluster.
That's what I'm saying. It's Skechers.
Yeah.
But hey,
Some sodas.
you slap a man. Speaking of Brandon, this is the craziest thing today, right? So my niece is 2.
Mm-hmm.
My sister-in-law hits me up. It's like, hey, can you stop at Target for me? I'm like, yeah, what do I need to get? She sends me this photo. She's like, oh, it's this toy set. It's like so exclusive. Like, it's so hard to get, and I just want to lock it in right now before Christmas time because I don't think it'll be available. Okay, yeah, like, just send me what it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
She sends me what it is. It's literally a mini Target shopping cart with mini fake Target food, like the Good and Gather shit, their brand.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, man, they're trying to get these kids locked into Target addiction before fucking, or shopping addiction before they even can spell their fucking name. That's crazy. Like, speaking of Brandon, and that's why I bring it up with like Balenciaga. Hey, these Skechers, man, shit, we gotta find a way to, these $40. Let's find a way to make these $1,200.
Yeah.
Bro. Let's dirty them up a little bit and let's slap a fucking Balenciaga label.
Yeah.
on.
It's just, I think it's just people price their art what they feel like it's priced, and people just, if there's buzz behind it, they'll buy that junk.
Yeah, they're like, oh, I do see
Yeah.
I do see what you're trying to do there,
Yeah.
buddy. Oh, fucking Zoolander looking ass.
Just like, was it them who came out with that trash, the one that looked like trash bags? Did you see that?
No.
Balenciaga came out. I believe it was Balenciaga. I'm pretty sure. I'm almost like 95% sure. It was Balenciaga came out with these bags, like they're handbags, but they look exactly like, almost exactly to the T, like the little kitchen trash bags you get with the red handles. Like they look almost just like it. And people was like, oh yeah, it's crazy. $1,500 for that. And I was like, there's no way that you can have. Actually, no, it was like $2,700 for that. And I was like, there's no way that they're actually selling that. Like, how can you, you know what I mean? Like, you just gonna give me this plastic bag?
That's why. Have you heard of Boy Worldwide?
No.
So he's on Instagram. He's like a fashion designer in a sense, but he's like kind of like parody in a sense. He like kind of makes fun of people.
Them.
So he has like 350s, like the same. They look like black and red, authentic 350s.
Yeah.
But he calls them Pen 15s. You know what that is?
No.
Pen 15 on a fucking sneaker looks like penis. Yeah. So he calls them the Pen 15s, and he, it's like his art piece. But I think it's like a play on that too, where it's like, y'all motherfuckers will buy anything, bro. Like,
oh yeah, they'll buy anything. Just like the whole thing with what's his name, Lil Nas, when he did those like shoes, and he was gonna put the
blood in them. Yeah.
People was like, yeah, I'll buy that, and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Like blood on shoes, like, but it's the exclusivity of things. I think that's what.
I can't lie, I fall victim to that. If it's 101, shit, you might get me. You might get me standing in line a little bit.
Yeah.
I fucking love exclusivity, bro.
It's got to be something like at least that's interesting though, or if it's just exclusive.
Like the SBs. I used to like the SBs back in the day because it was like, okay, shit, you got these. It's a status.
Yeah.
You know?
But you know, Nike SBs are just a dope shoe.
Yeah,
general.
exactly. That too. That's why I haven't bought no Balenciagas.
Yeah.
I was saying I got the foam runners. I was getting them at the time where they weren't like re-releasing. I think in part, you know, some exclusivity to that, but also they're very comfortable. Hey, I do like the innovative design that they have, etc. So, yeah, I think that plays a part for me. Even I'm not going to sit here and say, you know, I'm the consummate anti-marketing branding non-robot, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you know, we all have our things where it's like, yeah, actually, that does look dope, or I do like that. I see that on TikTok. That does look pretty cool, you know?
Yeah. See, I gotta see it and be interested in it. Like the foam runners, I wasn't really interested in, but there's another shoe. I think is it the 750s or something like that?
The 700s.
Yeah, something like
they
that.
They look like nursing shoes a little bit.
Do they have like they're not like the see-through ones. They look like shoes.
Yeah, they are these ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I saw those shoes in person and I was like, oh, those are dope. What are those? And somebody told me and I was like, that's a yeah. I was like, that's a tight shoe.
Yeah.
So if I see something and I find it interesting, then I'll be like, yeah, I'll get that. But I just don't. If I don't find it interesting at all, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be like, it's not working, bruh.
Yeah.
Or I'll be like, that's tight for you. I won't do it.
Yeah.
But exclusivity doesn't really play too much of a factor for me, to be honest. I just liked all SBs. Like I'll give some of the regular SBs if they were tight. Like if I thought some of them were tight.
You didn't care if you went to school and someone had on the same shoes as you or the same shirt as you?
No.
I did. I was like, man.
No. Yeah, I didn't.
Fucking JCPenney's too.
Yeah.
Like, God damn, Mom, we can't keep going to this fucking JCPenney.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. To be honest, I was one of somebody who I'll see something and be like, that's tight.
And wear it.
I'll go find that junk next week.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't try to wear it at the same time, but if I liked it, I would for sure wear that junk. Like, dang, that's tight. Where'd you get those from? Oh, okay. And that's one thing. Okay, I know you might be one of these people. That's one thing that used to annoy me is when you ask people where they got something from and they want to hold back the information, like they don't want you to get it, and you'd be like, "Oh yeah, where'd you get these from?" Don't worry about that. Don't worry. If you don't tell me where you got those from, so I can, what you trying to hide it from? Like somebody didn't tell you or something. Like, do you know the design? Did you design them yourself? Like, what are you hiding it for?
No, that's crazy because I do feel like my introduction to like different style and like fashion was you. You remember that when we had?
Oh, really?
You don't remember when you had took me on that shopping trip? You took me to like Metro Park.
Oh.
And like that boutique off like by Boulevard Mall and shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, like I was able to find some cool. And then from that point on, I was able to find threads that I found more appealing to me. But that was like the start of like all that. Before that, I was just.
Oh, dang, that's crazy. Yeah, I've always been into fashion like that.
Yeah.
So I've always like looked in those places. Like I think who actually opened the door for me was probably like Trick and them.
Yeah.
But Trick would just like he was like a real big shoe person.
See, but, I feel like they were. I feel like they were exclusive thinkers too.
Oh yeah.
That's why, like, that's why I'm shocked you aren't because like those stores are like more so exclusive stores.
Yeah, but I mean that's what it would be like. I will get stuff if I find it appealing at an exclusive store. Like, oh yeah, these are tight. Like I really want those, but I'm not like really keen on like having to be exclusive a lot of the times. But people will say that though. Yeah. Like that I am because I find things that look exclusive. Mm-hmm. Like they'll be like, oh, where'd you get those earrings from? Or where'd you get that necklace from? And I'll be like, oh, I just got it from here. Oh, but it won't be like an exclusive place a lot of the times. It would be a place where everybody could get it.
Even the glasses you wear, the third eye glasses you wear now.
Yeah. A lot of the times, like, to be honest, what ended up happening with that after looking at the whole all these fashion places from Trick and all these other people and learning about all this stuff, I was just like, dang, there's fashion in like everything. Mm-hmm. So I just started looking for whatever I wanted and seeing if there was like some type of inspiration based clothing on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I have some stores where I'll shop at all the time just because they always drop stuff that looks different. And I'll be like, okay, I'll shop there all the time. But then sometimes I'll be like, dang, like before overalls like came back in, I was looking for overalls that actually weren't baggy and that were like slim fit. I was looking for those everywhere, and I finally found them at like one place. I was like, I'm gonna cop them, even though they're not like, it's not a big place, it's not nothing fancy, but I'm gonna cop them just because they look tight and they're fitted and they were overalls. And then when I wore them, people was like, oh dang, those aren't baggy overalls. Like, where'd you find overalls that fit like that? And I was like I found it here. And they were like, dang, that's not even like a big shocking place.
Yeah, like fucking Burlington Coat Factory or some shit.
It's like somewhere small.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, okay. Like people always ask me about these types of shirts. They're like this really loose fit shirts.
Oh yeah, those are cool. Yeah.
Asked about those a lot. They'd be like, oh, where'd you get those from? I'm like, it's the same shop I shop at all the time. It's there's this store called ASOS online.
Oh yeah, ASOS has.
Yeah,
I didn't know ASOS has those.
Yeah, they have like dope shirts all the time, and they have like dope clothes. And every time I find something, I'm like, go
ahead. Yeah, ASOS definitely does have dope shit.
Yeah, all the time. It's crazy.
I just hate online shopping.
Oh yeah, because you never know.
Yeah, you get it and you're like, fuck.
There's so many things.
I gotta ship it back, bro. That shit is dog shit.
That's the worst thing ever. Shipping stuff back, like, dang. I love that Amazon has that easy shipping where you can just go to the store.
You send it back.
Yeah.
I've never
really.
I just eat it. I'm like,
Amazon's probably the easiest one because you don't even have to box it or nothing. Yeah. You can take it. Like when I found how easy that was, I was like, oh, I'll return something from Amazon in a second.
Because you could just go to like a Kohl's or something, right?
You just go to the Kohl's. You don't need the box. You just have the receipt printed out. You just
go to the little kiosk.
And like, they scan it.
Good to see you again.
Again, they know you by name at this point.
Yeah.
How is it? Another day, huh?
Yeah.
Didn't work out for you again, right? All right. We'll go ahead and get that worked out for you. Get your refund.
It's funny. Yesterday I went to the Golden Knights game, and I went with one of my buddies that I went to high school with and grew up with, in a sense. And he was like, "Man, it's so crazy." He's like, "I was watching your podcast, and so I was with my girl at the time, and she's into like psychedelics and shit, and she was like, I gotta show you this video on TikTok." and she shows him the video on TikTok, and it was your video.
Oh, really?
Yeah. she was like following you on TikTok. I was like, oh yeah, Suave is like, he's getting pretty big on TikTok.
Really? That's crazy. That's funny.
And I was like, and she didn't even know like you lived in Vegas, and she's from Vegas, and she didn't know you lived in Vegas.
What?
Yeah, so it's crazy.
That is shocking, yo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard. You know what's crazy too? Like you saying that. I never had somebody walk up to me randomly, but that actually recently happened.
And was like, I saw you on TikTok?
Yeah, they were like,
damn.
Hey, are you the one that wears those glasses? And I was like, the 3-eye ones. They was like, yeah, that's you. I was like, yeah, that's me. They was like, yeah, I saw that one video. I think it was the which one? It was the it was the
alien one?
No, it was another one. It was a psychedelic one. I think it was the one when I want to say it was the mushroom spaghetti one, I think. If not, it was the trip sitter. One of those ones. I can't remember for sure, but yeah, they were like, yeah, I saw that one video of you. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe people actually see that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it was on my For You page. And I was like, dang.
Yeah. No, but she actually like follows you and stuff. So
yeah, they told me they follow me.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Yeah. That's why I got to come out with some more videos for y'all.
Yeah, TikTok, Suavexlife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Suavexlife. I'll drop some more psychedelic videos for people. People be loving those for some reason for me.
It's a niche community, you know? I think once you get them, they're like, man, I've been waiting for somebody to relate to me about some fucking trip sitters. My mom did this with me too when I accidentally left the mushrooms in the spaghetti.
Yeah, right?
You know? Like,
you'll be thinking of stupid scenarios like that. You'll be like, yeah, that's exactly how I feel. Like, that joke is funny. But yeah, moral of the podcast? I don't know. I don't have a moral. Do you have a moral of the podcast?
Branding's important, right? I guess that's considering Balenciaga, considering TikTok, considering fashion, but also I don't know what else.
You're gonna say about something about perception or
preference? Perception, preference, understanding the differences and standards as far as dating and stuff goes. I think we had hit on a lot of shit. Like, this was a broad spectrum. This had a lot of peas in the pot that you guys could talk about in the comment section with us. Yeah, discuss it with us or whatever. We'll get to you on that. But you know what you guys shouldn't do? Dress your kids up as Jeffrey Dahmer for Halloween. Or R. Kelly for that matter. I am a mountain.
But yeah, you guys know where to follow us. If you guys don't, then you're not following us the way you should be. No, I'm just kidding. But if you guys don't, it's in our YouTube or on our Instagram or something. You know the information. Get it from one of us. But thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.
Peace.
Peace.